Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I will be sharing with you the 10 makeup brushes and tools that I think you need to do everyday makeup. All right, you guys, what is up? Thank you for joining me for this video. I wanted to do this video because I think that there is a misconception with the idea of makeup brushes and tools, and that you need a lot of them to do your makeup, which is not true at all. So I have in front of me a handful of brushes, some of my absolute favorite go-to makeup brushes that I use all the time. These brushes are affordable. You can find them at the drugstore or online, but I absolutely love these and I think you will too. This is also not exclusive to just people who are starting out in makeup. If you are already doing your makeup, or if you are someone who wants to just kind of refresh maybe what you got going on, I think this may help. So I hope you enjoy. All right, you guys, I'm gonna go in order by how I do my face, and I always do my eyebrows first. Now, first, when you do your eyebrows, if you're using a brow pencil like I tend to do, I already have a spoolie on my brush. So what a spoolie is just a brush with little hairs at the ends, and this brush allows you to brush your eyebrow hairs. So you don't need to buy another brush to compensate for this. When you buy a brow pencil, you'll already have this attached to it and you're already good to go. All right, next up, I have 4 eyeshadow brushes. Now, one of the things I want to put out there right now is don't feel like you can't use brushes in other places of your face, even if it's for a specific place. So for instance, like I said, I have these 4 brushes I'm gonna share with you right now, but in these 4 brushes, I may take this one, which is an eyeshadow brush, one of my favorite go-tos, and this is the Morphe E23. I may use this, yes, to add color to my eyes with eyeshadow, but I also may use this to do a nose contour or something else on my face. Don't feel like you can't use brushes other places on your face. But again, this one is the Morphe E23. It's just a fluffy, easy eyebrow brush, perfect for just applying a color in your eyes. Easy, easy, easy. Next is kind of the same concept. This one is the Morphe E-17. So it's the same concept kind of this one. It's just smaller. And this one has a smaller head. It's still fluffy. I like the idea of having a smaller one like this because I want to be able to sometimes put eyeshadow underneath my eye, or even get into the crease a little bit tighter in the actual creases of my crease. So I like to use a smaller brush to do that. Whereas this one is a lot wider. It's a lot fluffier. And so the product is going to go a little bit wider across your eyelid, opposed to if you use something a little bit more smaller, a little bit more dense like this one. All right, next up is this one. This is a Morphe M-16. Okay, so again, disclaimer, I love Morphe brushes. I have used Morphe since I really started out doing my own makeup, and this has been over 6 years now. They are one of my absolute favorite brands to use. They're affordable. They are great quality. I never have any issues with their brushes. I highly recommend them. You can find them at Ulta or their website, morphebrushes.com. But this one is the, like I said, the Morphe M-16. This one is considered a flat shader brush. So basically it's very dense, flat, it's rounded. I love this one for packing on eyeshadow on my lids. Now, you can do that with your finger, but if you don't want to do that and get your fingers dirty, you can use a brush like this. But again, like I said, if you want to use brushes in multiple ways, you can also use a brush like this to apply concealer underneath your eye. So again, sometimes brushes can be used multiple ways, so don't get kind of locked into a box thinking you have to use a brush one way. This is a great example of that, how you can use a brush multiple ways, not just on your eye, but underneath your eye. All right, so next up, after I do my eyebrows and then my eyes, I next move on to my face. Now, for my face, I love personally using a brush. Now, this is where another product comes into play that I have for you guys, but one of the reasons I love using a brush is because I feel like I can control how the product goes on. And I love this one so much. This one is the e.l.f. Buffing Foundation Brush. I've kind of used this so many times I can't really count, but I love this one because it's fluffy, it's rounded, and it's a buffing brush. So when you use this to apply foundation, this makes your foundation go on smoothly and evenly, and it doesn't leave you with any cakey streaks as long as you're applying the right amount of foundation. Don't feel like you have to apply all of your foundation that you want to use at one time. Go on with a little bit, buff it out, going with a little bit more if you want more coverage. But I love this brush for buffing out foundation. But again, you can use this in other ways if you choose to, but this is my go-to foundation brush. I love other brushes as well, or you can actually use a sponge like this. This one is by Eco Tools. I purchased this one at Walgreens, but you can get this wherever drugstore products are sold. I love this sponge. Now, if the Beauty Blender sponge is your jam, you do you, but I love this one. This usually comes in a pack of 2, or you can buy it by itself, but this is the one I always buy when I need to restock up on my sponges. But you can use this to apply foundation as well. What you would do, or what I would recommend you do, is wet it, soak it up because it's a sponge. Make sure you get it nice and wet, but wring it out to the point where all the water is out. The sponge should be damp, but not soaking wet. Once you've done that, you can take it and dip it into your foundation. Like say if I had foundation on my hand, you can take it, dip it in your foundation, and apply it on your face. Now, you may use more foundation than you normally would had you used a brush, because again, it's a sponge, so it's going to absorb liquid. And with that in mind, you want to kind of go on with your foundation a little bit more sparingly and then add as you need to. It has this hard edge at the top, and it has this long like flat side here and this short side here. I love to use this side, or either side really, to buff in my concealer underneath my eye. And again, with it being damp when you use it, it just makes your concealer seamless. But again, you can use this multiple ways. You can use this to apply highlighter. You can use this to apply blush. You know, just get creative. It has a rounded side here. You can use, listen, you can use this multiple ways. Don't feel like you got to use it one time. You've used it and then that's it. Sis, you can use this multiple ways. Next, once I've applied my foundation and my concealer, I usually will buff out my concealer again with my Eco Tools sponge. Then next, I will go on with contour. Contour is the product that you put on your face that gives you a little bit extra edge and a little bit oomph to your face, kind of carves out your cheekbones if you don't have any, gives you contour to your forehead, just adds structure to your face. I love using a brush to buff out my contour, and I usually will use a brush. So basically, this is rounded, it's curved, but it's fluffy. And I love using this to buff out contour that I put along my cheeks and on top of my forehead. It blends it out really seamlessly, and it also keeps the contour in place. The whole point of putting contour, like especially in the hollows of your cheek, you want it to keep it there. You don't want it dragging down your face. You don't want it up too high underneath your eye, because then you're gonna start to look crazy. So brushes like this, where it has some sort of a point and it's some sort of like a tip, is great for buffing out the contour and keeping it where you put it. Next, after contour, I will apply and set my face with bronzer. Now, bronzer is a little bit different than contouring, and I know we kind of use it in the same ways, but bronzing adds warmth to your face, where contouring is meant to add structure to your face. And one of the brushes I love to use when I'm using a contour or even applying my blush is this Real Techniques. It says the number 400, and it's the blush brush, of course. Now, I love this brush more than just for blush. Say that 3 times fast. But I also like to use it to apply my bronzer, because again, it's fluffy. It has a tip to it, but it allows your product to go on seamlessly, and it's not so dense that when you put your brush in, it has movement. So when you apply it to your face, it'll go on a lot more seamlessly. Next up and final product is my highlighting brush. Y'all, if you know me, if you don't, you will know now. I love highlighter. Highlighter is absolutely probably my favorite makeup product, and I love a good highlighting brush. My favorite, I have a couple favorites if I'm honest, but this one by Sonia Kashuk, of course you can find this one at Target, is this small highlighting brush, of course is what it's called. I love this for just applying highlight on the sides of my face. Again, it's another fluffy brush, slightly tapered as well, but it has a lot of movement, so you don't need a lot of product when you use a brush like this. You dip it in your product and it just glides onto your face. You can apply your highlighter seamlessly without any issues, and I love a brush like this. All right, you guys, that is it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, all of these products you can find at your local drugstore or at Ulta, CVS, Walgreens. If you love this video, please let me know. Comment below what you would like to see from me next. Comment below if some of these brushes are ones you have, or even comment if there's brushes that you use that you think I missed and should have added to this collection. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.